welcome to another Parts Factory Australia installation tutorial video. Today guys, we're working on this Ford Territory. Specifically, we're going to be swapping out the driver's side window regulator. Now, just before we start, I will let you know we have them available on our website. So if you need the part, click on the link in the bio or the description of this video, cruise on, get the regulator in your hand. I think they're about $148.30. And then yeah, use this tutorial, fit it yourself, and I'm going to save you $400, $500, $600 minimum, guys. So definitely worth checking that out. Now, it's going to take about, I'd say, 25 minutes. They're not the easiest job in the world. I'm going to explain a few things before we get started about basically why you might be swapping it, things that can go wrong, and how to prolong the life of your new one once you've got your new one in, guys. Alrighty, I won't stuff you around any further. Let's jump into it. Alrighty guys, so before we do get started, we just want to make sure that it's actually the window regulator broken itself, because these doors, these cars rather, actually have a very moody master control switch. So you need to first test to make sure it isn't your master switch. Guys, so realistically, based off that knowledge, the fact that both this and the window regulator breaks, most of the time, it's actually the switch causing your window not to go up. So just bear that in mind. There are a few ways to test the motor of the reg, but realistically it's not really possible unless you have the actual part in front of you. Just bear that in mind though, guys. If you've replaced your switch in the past, now your motor's given in, perhaps it is your motor. So yeah, just a little bit of an FYI. Now, the window regulator is behind this entire door trim piece, etc. If you've never pulled one off before, it's not actually that bad. So just work with me here. We've got a Phillips head screw just in this door. You just pop that out, grab your Phillips head, stick it on the ground, grab the handle, pull it out, rotate it around, push up on that white tab, rotate the handle, pull back on that, put it out of the way. Switch, you need a flathead screwdriver, so switch your arsenal to your flathead, pop that switch out of that door card, rock it up into the air, plug on, twist. Oh, she's a bit stiff. There you go, she's out. Tuck your wires straight underneath. Run your hand around the edge. You'll notice there's 1, 2, 3, 4 trims. To get them, it's a flathead. Jab it in, pop it out. Yep, they're gonna fling away, but that's okay, unless you've got a drain underneath where you're working. So just as you go, 1, 2, 3. Last one over here, 4. You can literally just stab it in and then switch back to your Phillips head, and of course undo your 4 screws. You got 1, 2, 'If you're not down there looking at it, it can be hard to line it up. 3 and 4. Remember, we want to keep these Phillips head screws, so you put them somewhere safe, and you can now pull on that bottom trim. You'll notice sometimes, I mean, if your car's been screwed around with in the past, is it'll split here. It's quite normal, so just to bear that in mind. You got 2 screws in here. 1, hopefully your Phillips head has a magnetic tip on it so they can just pull straight out like that. 2. Now, one last little thing, these little mirror switches, if you don't do this correctly, you'll break your mirror switch and you'll be in the market for one of them as well. So now, to do it, you can basically, you need to remove your door card, right? Popping all the trims, little clips out, you can hear them kind of letting go. Take this trim piece off. It just pops off, and you just pop it out like that, pull it out of your way. Now, if you lever on this and pull this up, most of the time you're going to split the guts of it apart. That's just from my wrecking yard days, that's the type of thing that happens. So if you pull your door card off, you can put your hand under and you pull it, or push it rather, up from inside, which stops it from breaking. This is a $65 part, guys, so follow that instruction. Now, sometimes they are a bit of a pain in the ass to get out, and that is why you need to do it from underneath. hopefully it's actually in good nick, because some of them are already busted and there's just nothing you can do about it. So what you could technically do is you could technically leave it, if you can't get it out straight away, you could realistically leave it in the door. So at least you can grab your little screwdriver, come in on the back, and I'm going to show you in a second what I do here to get this plug out once I've got it out, like so. Then once you've got that off, you can then lift the rest of your door off. Again, there might be some clips, there might be some glue, you never know what's gone behind this area. Everything's falling apart. Okay, yeah, so as I suspected, everything's pretty brittle behind here. But yeah, you get your screwdriver, you stick it up here and you give it a twist and you can pull it off, and that way you protect your mirror switch. Alrighty guys, so you've got all this insulation. If this is one of your favorite cars, you want to be keeping all this nice and intact. Guys, this is a wrecker car, so I'm not going to bother. It's just going to be getting donated into the dirt. So I'm going to grab all this foam, and that uncovers your window reg, which is the part we're going for. Stick the foam out of the way, you put yours flat somewhere nice and safe. Okay guys, so the reason you're going to be replacing this one, if you have confirmed it's the reg, is the wires or these plastic blue clips will be snapped and the glass will be sideways or something like that. However, if it's not and it's a lazy motor, that means that the window is going to be stuck in the up position or stuck in some sort of position. So you'll understand why I'm talking about this at the beginning here. If you can, turn your car on and bring your window down to about this position in line with this speaker, because there's a couple little clips that we've got to access. If yours is broken and your glass is just moving around freely, then you can just manhandle your glass to position, unclip the clips, remove the glass, and then we'll get back to the reg. And then the final thing, if you can't, then you can do it like this. Grab your 10 mil. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one up here I think, 5, and I'm hoping that glass drops down a bit. It looks like it will, but I'm just not sure it's going to be enough. So you can see how we can then access that one, but realistically we can't actually access that one there. I would say that I can put my hand up around the back. You see that one, you might just come in here for a second. So you can see. You see this little blue trim? You see that hook? Basically, it has to be pushed through like so, and then that disconnects the glass from the reg, right? So that means if you can do the same thing by putting your hand around the back, and then basically what you do is you prop the glass up a little bit, but not too much that you smash the glass. So you're just propping it up a bit. If you can get it to disconnect, oh yeah, you can go through here, do that same thing, push that little trim piece through without smashing the glass. So you don't want to get like, you don't want to be forcing anything. It should be natural, you know, it should just unclip. Maybe even use Phillips head, poke it through that hole and find that same blue hook. Let's see if we can get it to drop. Now because of the angle, it's seemingly quite difficult. The issue that I was having, guys, is this screwdriver is too fat on the head, just like me. So what I did is I ended up going and finding a small, long, pointy sort of apparatus, and that way we can literally just hopefully go straight through. What I want to do is hold this glass up in the air somehow, even with a screwdriver, but nice and gentle. Don't lever it or anything, and you should just be able to poke that blue thing through like that. So that's pushed the trim out. Now we should be able to take the reg or the glass up into the air, separate them hopefully. Right, so I ended up realizing it's easier to go through this way. I got up in there, push that little clip, pull that thing out. All right, so once you've got that clip to unlatch, you can then just hold your glass up, hopefully you turn the reg sideways a bit. Got to basically, this glass is, because I can't use two hands, it's a bit hard, but you should just be able to turn the reg and see this little white tab. We want to see if we can get this glass to sit and not move. Now there is a way you can do that. You can just use a screwdriver, find a part where it will just rest on it. If you know what I mean, you can rest the screwdriver. Use your large one actually, the long one. Bit of a pain in the ass, this one, I will admit. Not being able to bring the glass down is the issue. We'll try and stab it through there. And you see how the glass is resting on that screwdriver? Now it's a lot easier. We can have a break. See this white tab here? Basically you got to push that through the door, like so. We'll let go of the reg. And then yeah, as I always say, it's now time to do window regulator twister. So you just bring it out like so. You're doing a bit of twist there, and then same thing. It's like there's no other way. So that's what we do. Sometimes you can actually come out the bottom here. So if you find it's too hard, take it out the bottom. But look at that, nice and straightforward, guys. And that's how you pull a territory window regulator out. Right. Good news is, hardest part's done. Now you can bring your new reg in, stick it in the door, plug it in, and you can move it up and down into position, so we're ready to go. So I'm going to pretend I have a new one. I don't have one with me, but as I did say, we are going to have them available in about a month. We may, if you're watching in this for a year from now, we've already got them. So cruise onto the website, have a look, nice and cheap, get it delivered to you, 3-year warranty. Doesn't get much better than that, guys. So to get this back in, it's the exact same procedure, but in reverse. We'll try going through like this. Look at that, nice and easy. Not much twister going on with this one. Bring it over, all the way along. With this clip though, it has to be on that side of the glass, right? So you got to kind of drag it along, maybe not. Oh, that glass can go up a bit more, so we should be right to just bring it along. Yeah, so just sliding it along. You see how I'm bringing it along like that? That's okay, because this one can just come over here now. Now we can pull this out, catch it with the reg, and allow that one to clip in. Like, so you can actually hear that click, right? And the same thing over here. You can bring it over, and remember we can use these two holes to visually line up that clicker. Where is it? There it is there. Push it up into it, and it grabs it and clicks it. Just remember, guys, it's just a little pressure clip. You see that little clip? You got one here, and you got one over there, and that's all it is. There is nothing else holding it. And once you've got that, good news is, it's time to reassemble. So, what you do is start at the bottom. If you can, push up as far as you can go. If it's not lining up the first time, just wiggle it around until it does, because it will. And you can just put your screw in. Hopefully it goes in nicely for you. If it's not lining up, it's because up here or up here isn't squished into place correctly. So get that done and then rendezvous back with me. You got that 10mm in that side now. Good news is the worst part is done. The rest is easy now, other than getting your door card back in one piece, because the territory door cards are not very well built. Remember, 10mm screw gun. Tighten it up, nice and tight. 1, 2, 3. Now you have one that holds the base of the reg. It's very important that this goes in, because you'll have a bit of torque flex if you don't. Like so. Nice and tight. Plug the reg in, and do not forget the guiding white tab that we pulled out of here. You can put your hand way up in there, line it up. Try not to cut your arm on here. I'll have to jump in front to get this done. You can just push it in and it clips into place and it'll be nice and firm to the touch. And at this point, you can actually test to see if your new window regulator works. So grab your switch, plug it in. You know the drill. Bring it right down. Do some lubricant, a little bit of WD-40 or lithium grease around the edge so that the glass moves up and down freely. It'll prolong the life of your new window regulator, which is obviously what you're looking for here, guys, if this is your family car. Once you've confirmed everything's all good to go, naturally, it's now time to put the door car back on. So, all these little seals and stuff, put them on nice. Remember, all these little white male parts are going to be meeting up with all these little female parts. This little male part here, you got your little plug that pops through here, right? This one. And then you got your little wire that goes to your door handle. It can basically just be tucked through like 1 and 2. Hold them. Bring your, they call it a lock snipper button. Tuck it through into the female part like so. Remember your mirror switch, guys, at the top. Nice and straightforward. Plug it in. This one here. Remember, you want to be delicate in this area. There we go there. But it is a legal thing for that mirror switch to be working, so make sure it's done correctly. Now you can actually look straight down and line up all those white male parts all the way down the edges while you're still being wary of your snipper button. It's important that is out. And you've got all your cables sitting out here. At this point, to take one less thing off the weight, you can put your knee against the door card, plug your switch in, leave that like that, that's fine, because you can always kind of get it again. And then basically, if you lined it up correctly, it's a one-hit wonder. Now, we bring our door handle in. Again, tuck the little locating piece of steel in, and you can just bring your door handle in like so. Let's get this part of it done so we don't have to come back to it. Just like so. And now that we're at this part where we want to be making sure that everything is looking the way it should, obviously that was glued. Can't really get it any better than that. Don't forget this piece, because you actually need to pull back on this a little bit, not too much. And you can basically slide it on down into that hole, like so. Bring it over, line up the little one-way clips, give them a nice hit, give the door card a hit again, and remember your couple Phillips heads in here, your 4 along the back, and then your 4 little plastic covers and this trim piece, and guys, you'd be good to go. Making everything look OEM. And the final step is this little trim piece here. This one's obviously been glued in like some dodgy fella. It's as good as I can get it, but I'm hoping that yours has all the clips, the OEM clips, and everything's all good to go. So at this point, that's it. The job is done. You can now go and tell your wife how good of a job you've done getting her territory's door glass going up and down again. So props to that. Now, guys, if you can, make sure to give the video a thumbs up just to show me that this is the type of content you are interested in. And if you have a territory, subscribe to the channel, because it's my job to teach you how to do these types of jobs to save you some money. I've also got all the parts available for cheap, so nothing to lose doing that, guys. Alrighty guys, my name's Lucas Straps. Thanks for watching another Parts Factory Australia installation tutorial video. I'll see you next time.